Okay, worksheet 18. All right, now this is going to lines, all that graphing and lines and things like that. And the reason why we need this is because we're about to do the line of best fit. It tells whether or not things are correlated. So if I've got a bunch of dots like this and there's a line that kind of goes through them, then they kind of match each other. There's some sort of relationship, okay, which is why we need to be able to do lines so that we can understand it when our calculator starts giving us answers for this. All right, now first thing about lines is that they have a slope. The answer is y's over x's and be consistent about it. So I'm going to subtract these. You want to subtract. Okay, and subtract. All right, so I want to do y's over x's. So I got my 5 and my 1. 5 minus 1, because we're supposed to be doing subtraction, over the x's, and be consistent. So if I started with 5 here, I can't suddenly start with 6. I got to start with the same point both times. 5 minus 6. So that's 4 over negative 1. That's negative 4. And that's all you have to do for these problems. Line's going to take us a couple of days, but for this, all I got to do is come up with that slope. Okay, so now my second one, negative 2 minus 8. If you love starting with the second one, you can start with the second one and everything. Okay, I just start with the first one. 4 minus negative 3. 1 minus comes from the formula, and 1 minus comes from it being negative. Okay, so this says negative 10 over, and that says 4 plus 3, so that's 7. Negative 10 sevenths. That's the slope there. Okay, 1 minus 5 over 4 minus 4, which is negative 4 over 0. And if I get out my calculator and go 4 divided by 0, you can't divide by 0. It'll just say error. Okay, this is, you could just answer this with the word error, since that's what your calculator is going to say. You could answer it with it being a vertical line if you want to. It's because that's what it is. It is a vertical line, and that's why we don't talk about the slope, because you can't even walk on a hill that's just a sheer cliff face. It's just a vertical line. Okay, now let's try number 4. 3 minus 6 over negative 2 minus 8. So that's negative 3 over negative 10. So that's positive 3/10, because negative divided by negative is positive. All right, and then the last one, 3 minus 3 over 0 minus 8. So that's 0 over negative 8. Okay, you've always got to start with the y's in the numerator. When I start with the y's in the numerator in number 3, my denominator turned into 0, but that's too bad. I have to put the y's in the numerator. Here, when I put the y's in the numerator, my 3 minus 3 is 0 is in the numerator, and that is a number. That's just equal to 0. Okay, and this is perfectly horizontal ground. That's why when you're talking about slope, you're not going uphill, you're not going downhill, you're just walking on flat ground, so the slope is 0. It's not like it doesn't exist, it's just you're not having to go up or down to get there. Okay, and then 6 and 7, it makes it look, what? More complicated. You know, it isn't. Basically, what you're doing is your choice, moment of creativity, pick any 2 points off the list and use those with the formula. Okay, I choose to use the first 2 just because they're convenient. They're right there. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So number 6, all right, I've got to start with the y's. 8 minus 6 over 1 minus 2. I got to be consistent about it. 8 minus 6 over 1 minus 2. So that's 2 over negative 1. So that's negative 2. All right, and then on number 7, again, my choice. I might as well use the top 2. I'm good at that. Okay, so 20 minus 130. Got to start with the y's, and I just do the first thing I see. You could do it in the other order if you want to. Just be consistent. And 10 minus 20. So that's negative 110 over negative 10. So negative divided by negative will be positive. That'll be 11. And that's all you have to do for this worksheet is just come up with some slopes.